to get up early, and it's right now about 60 degrees. As you can see, the lawn needs mowing again. Well, we've been watering it better, and so far it's almost July and still green. We don't usually keep it this green. We're doing a little better. Got a lot of bushes to trim. These rose bushes. And this one here. This tree here. Martin started picking raspberries. What didn't go in his mouth, he brought a handful in for me to eat, and boy, were they good. I mean, we haven't hardly touched the raspberry bushes very much because we've been so attended on to getting this raised bed going. And you can see that there's just weeds. Ooh, doggy. I'm getting behind on my weed picking. I'd say that old boy in the pickup is some young buck who likes to make noise. Anyhow, a lot of weed work whacking to go yet. Oh, did I mention that Barton has already brought home more pallets, and he said he's got enough for a second raised bed, full length. Imagine that. So this is as far as we've gotten on the raised bed, and that's 2 boards high. We're talking about doing a 3rd board later, but it kind of sounds like we're going to have trouble getting the compost get filled in. And I am putting horse manure on the bottom, some old stuff, and there's just not a lot of it. My neighbor has, he does a pretty good job of giving it away. And this year, hopefully, we can get all we can get. And that burnt area, see if I can zoom in for you. That burnt area over there is where I plan on dropping the horse manure right off the asphalt. I'll just back right up, and then I have a cargo unloader from Harbor Freight, and I'll just roll it right off onto that area that I've cleaned up, burned up, kind of burnt the weed seed and whatnot. Get as much of that out of there as possible, and then from there you'll have to wait and see how I move the dirt over to this raised bed. So oh, by the way, you saw the corn. It's really growing, isn't it? This is coming along. Yeah, there's a few pears on this tree. Didn't think I had any at all, but there's some. The garden, yeah, it's doing pretty good. You can see that sunflowers are coming up. They're above the cages now. When I planted them, they were quite a bit lower. And the tomatoes seem to be doing pretty good. Now these first ones are the ones that my neighbor gave me. Those are the free ones. And it does look like things are starting to kick in because, well, The warmest it's been in the last week is 63 degrees in the morning. It's been in the 50s, folks. And that's just not warm enough for tomatoes and stuff. You got to get into that higher temperatures, and we will. We will be, I think, here in the next month. Now my vining plants, you'll see blossoms, and I've lost at least half or more of my cucumbers. There's a worm that's getting them, and being I didn't use any, did not use any spray, I've been losing them. But so far I've got, I think, 2. I had 3. Now I'm down to 2 now. 2 plants. And that's it. Now the watermelons, the squash, the vining ones seem to be doing pretty good. These are all my tomatoes that I grew. And you can see they're about a foot tall. They're coming along. Got blossoms on. Down towards the end is the little ones. Yeah, these are the smaller ones. That one's only about, I want to say, 7 inches tall. And then we drop down to, yeah, you have to look real close. Is that a weed or is that a tomato? It's just too cold, folks. It's just too cold. This one has come around pretty good. And I think 6 of these on the other side was mine too. So overall, I think the garden is doing pretty good. And the raised bed is coming along, and now I'm started on the greenhouse. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So from Sand Hollow Homestead, we say good morning. So from Sand Hollow Homestead in Sand Hollow, Idaho, we wish you a good morning, and there's lots of food in the pantry. We'll see you at supper time.